So let me start by commending ECOWAS for the partnership with ECONEC in deploying follow-up missions to member countries, always led by a chairperson of an electoral commission. Nigeria has participated in many of these missions. In April this year, just 3 months ago, I was involved in a similar mission to the Republic of the Gambia, together with my colleague from Sierra Leone and some of the election experts present here today. Interestingly also, today is our turn to host our colleagues from Liberia and Ghana, leading a team of international election experts. In this sense, today's mission is a routine practice, but very critical to electoral democracy in our region. What goes around comes around. So it is our turn today to be host, just as we have been hosted by our colleagues from other parts of the region. Election observation missions make their findings and recommendations public. They also deploy follow-up missions on the implementation of their recommendations. Inec Nigeria is glad that ECOWAS, which deployed both long-term and short-term election observation missions, recognizes that election is a multi-stakeholder responsibility. Consequently, for Nigeria's 2023 general election, ECOWAS made 37 recommendations for consideration by 7 critical institutions and stakeholders in the electoral process. Of these recommendations, 13 are addressed to INEC, while 24 require action by other institutions and stakeholders, such as the National Assembly, the Nigeria Police Force, the National Broadcasting Commission, the National Information Technology Development Agency, civil society organizations, the Nigeria Union of Journalists, and political parties under the umbrella of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC. Furthermore, the follow-up mission will also interact with the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. Of the 13 observations specifically addressed to INEC, the Commission has considered all of them that require administrative action to implement, while waiting for the conclusion of the ongoing legal review by the National Assembly on aspects of the recommendations that require legislative intervention. The Commission has prepared a detailed response to each of the 13 observations, most of which are already contained in our 142 recommendations for electoral reform, which resulted from wide-ranging consultations with critical stakeholders, a copy of which has already been published on our website. The review report, as well as the main 2023 general election report and other relevant documents, are also available from our website. Nevertheless, hard copies of these reports and documents have been included in your document bags for this meeting. I cannot conclude my brief remarks without appreciating our development partners for facilitation and expert support. So let me welcome to Nigeria Lenny Tabu and Matthias Humpe, supported by the Electoral Institute for Sustainable Democracy in Africa, based in Johannesburg. Is Lenny here and Matthias? Let us see you. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Kisi, supported by the Africa and West Asia Office of the Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, IDEA, based in Addis Ababa. And Michael Agada from the German International Cooperation Agency, the GIZ. I must also commend the diligence of the staff of the ECONEC Secretariat for the professional manner they have always carried out their assignments. Mr. Chinedu from Nigeria. Mariama Toure from Guinea-Conakry, and Aisha Koulibaly from Côte d'Ivoire. We look forward to a robust interaction at this meeting in the best interest of our elections and the electoral process. Once again, I welcome you to Nigeria.
The necessary information, which of course leaves us with a few words, but it's good that he's giving you a thorough explanation of why we are here. This joint post-2023 election follow-up and needs assessment mission to Nigeria is a peer-to-peer review of our presence here during the 2023 elections, but more importantly, the recommendations that we proffer, which were outlined in a report of our visit here. We've come to see how best Inec has implemented those recommendations, and we anticipate that during our engagement, we may be able to understand reasons for some of the issues that came out of the 2023 elections and how Inec was able to navigate in a way that it has found answers to those challenges that abound during the 2023 elections. We see this mission as a lessons learned, not just for Inec Nigeria, but also for our own institutions, our own election management bodies, because as we know, problems or challenges that are faced by any electoral management body are often faced by elections management bodies throughout our region. And the fact that we can sit down and talk about what we went through and how it impacted on our work during elections, I think we may be able to use those recommendations again to better situate our individual election management bodies when we return to our various countries. So let me say on behalf of the team that we are happy to be here, and we are happy for your warm welcome all the time. But let me go further to say that Liberia, the National Elections Commission, appreciates you in particular for your stance to ensuring that we do a good job, as you have done here in Nigeria. More importantly, Inec has supported through material sharing with the National Elections Commission in Liberia. Because of your intervention, we now have an ICT room basically supported by your efforts. And I get emotional, sorry, when I speak about this, yes. Because when we needed support, we realized that ECONEC was there for us. And through ECONEC and its principles and ideals, Nigeria actually responded to our needs. So I want to ask you to give a round of applause for Professor Mahmood and his commissioners and the team of Inec Nigeria. So to conclude, I will say that the mission here is one that is determined to learn. We want to learn what happened so that we use your expertise in dealing with the problems or challenges to better situate our individual election management bodies' processes. Thank you to all of you, and we wish to have a better, sustainable electoral management bodies throughout West Africa and the world. Thank you.